What's good? What's good? Welcome to Ivy Talks, episode number 10. This is
10.
This is your girl Drea Ivy, episode number 10.
It's your man Holla Rock, Lex Rizzle the Dizzle. What's going on?
What's going on? What's good? Here we are live from our remote location. You never know where we could be, where we could not be. And I wanted to give a couple of shout outs. First of all, shout out to everybody who's been showing love on Instagram.
IG, what up?
IG, everyone who's been showing
_
love.
Ivy Talks.
_ Ivy Talks, of course. Thank you. That's the perfect host. Everyone who's been showing love on YouTube. I've been getting DMs. I've been getting shout outs on Facebook. I've been, getting requests for interviews already, and we're still so new.
Yep.
And before, shout out to my people in London. Shout out to iLiveRadio.com and iLive UK.
What up, London?
What up, London? What up? All right, here we are. What's good? I would like to give a warm welcome to our guest, Mr. Quez is in the building.
You.
Our soundboard. This is our soundboard until we get one, which is going to be very soon. The MacBook is technically one. Anyways, me and my rambles. How you doing?
Good, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm great. Great. Blessed day to be alive and to be here getting recorded on Ivy Talks.
You.
At _ Ivy Talks.
What's up, fam?
What's going on, son?
Brother from another, man. Me and him got dumb history.
Representing.
Crazy growth. So, brother, man, just lay it on the table, man. What made you want to jump into the field that you're doing?
Wait, hold on. Before we even get into that, how do y'all know each other?
That's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother. I mean, the shortened version, just the short and PG
of a life
version.
for me, I guess.
Yeah, both different lives.
You know what I mean?
All right, y'all friends then. Y'all friends. All
Yeah,
right,
it's
cool.
my brother. We
When
friends.
say
Y'all
brother,
brothers. Y'all
Yeah,
brothers.
yeah,
All
When
right.
say brother,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, thick and thin stuff over here, man.
I like that shirt you got. I like that sweatshirt you got on, by the way. Yeah, we are South Florida kids / All right, representing South Florida, Miami, but Broward, and also 561. So, anyways, all right, back to your question. Let's go.
South Florida.
South Florida.
Want to know, man, like, what made you, obviously, we from the nightlife industry, so what made you want to transition? Because you always had the entrepreneur spirit and mindset, like you was getting it from way back, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to drop the age thing, but my man's been at it for a dub, you know what I'm saying? Like, touching money. So, and obviously I know on a cultural experience, we got that mindset and that hustle and ambition being from the islands and then having influence from up top.
Correct.
So, it's just part of the dynamics of being in the South Florida scene and coming from up north and coming from a Caribbean household that you just want to go get it and live the American dream.
Of course.
So what made you want to take the transition, the leap of faith and hustle into fitness and fitness with education, if that's the proper grammatic term?
Yeah, well, I mean, really how that happened was, like you said, we came from the nightlife.
Yeah.
So, that was a whole different background. Just team no sleep. You know what I mean? Not sleeping.
And
That's that South Florida
that was
island
for
up
real.
north.
That was for real. Like,
that definitely leads to fucking health issues.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Not eating properly. I got older kids or whatever. I got, you know what I mean? Around the time when I was doing the nightlife, you might remember I had the store, the clothing store,
Yeah.
the tattoo shop on 6th Trunk or
Yeah.
whatever.
By the way, too, man, like to touch up on that. You're one of the first ones to get in there before it started getting gentrified to actually try to bring, be an outsider to bring in a black-owned business and a black community while it's going under gentrification.
But for the viewers and the listeners who don't know, what is this from?
Sistrunk is a historically black neighborhood in the Fort Lauderdale, Broward County corridor that was founded by
Dr. Sistrunk,
named after Dr. Sistrunk.
The first black doctor in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah,
you know
and that was in what, 1912?
Yeah, man.
1910? Black history, yo. It's every day, 365. This ain't no Mickey D's commercial. When we say it, we mean it.
Correct. He gave birth to a lot of people, man. Like a lot of the cats now, they grandparents or whatever, 6th Trunk birth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's definitely like the heart of 6th Trunk.
So how'd you squeeze in there?
Because I seen the opportunity when I saw the growth that they were trying to, like you said, gentrify. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when they do that, they push out the original people that's living there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
everywhere.
I ain't really want to see the historic value because you got the Black American Library, African American Library right
Yeah.
there. You
Right.
got Betty's right there. Like there's a lot of historical.
Betty's a soul food.
Correct. There's a lot of historical Black, just essence right there. You feel me? And I seen, like I don't think we ever realize what we have until it's gone.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I seen they built a Bank of America on the Strip, and I was like, they don't.
Bank of America.
Yeah, they
Right there at the borderline.
Yeah, right there
where the
between
county
6th
splits.
Street and
Yeah.
when it starts to change.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, this shit's for real.
It's for real.
Yeah, it's for real. Like
It's for
they
real,
don't
for
build
real.
no banks in the middle of the hood. You feel me? So I was like,
Let alone reputable ones.
correct, Bank of America right in the middle of the hood.
Exactly.
So I was like, yo, let me see what's going on here. So I went down to the little, I forget what they call that. The
The
little
CRA.
Yeah, the little spot where you talk about development
Yeah.
and what's going on, whatever. And it was like, yeah, we trying to bring more businesses here. We giving incentives where you get the whole year free advertising. We'll pay the taxes. Like whatever you put in your store, whatever, we'll reimburse you for the taxes. Blah blah blah. And I remember I was right next to Ray's Barbecue. That's my people's Ray's Barbecue, famous Ray's. He had a spot right there, and it was jumping right there. He always had the parking lot crazy,
Right.
and there was an available spot.
Now, just touch on that too to the viewers, though. A key thing for all those who want to seek, independence and entrepreneurship, check into your city for the CRAs. Every city has a CRA. That's a community redevelopment agency.
Correct.
So they're gonna put you on to the spot of saying what you can do in the city and give you the grants and opportunity to build your business within your city. Especially if you're a minority, women listen up to double minorities. You fit the
Correct.
the
correct.
pieces of the
Yeah,
puzzle,
the
and
A
it's
lot
much
of
much needed.
incentives, man. A lot, because we complain all the time like we don't have opportunities.
It's
we don't
there,
have
brother.
this. But it's there. You just gotta do the knowledge. You
We
feel me?
we just don't like to
With
do
everything.
the
Yeah,
do the
you just-
paperwork or the
everything.
footwork.
Correct. Once we find out, because it ain't really, especially right now, man. 2019 with the internet being full maturity and how it is, like
Yeah.
all you gotta do is go online and do some research, man.
Is what
It-
Chris
it-
Rock
it's-
said, my
Yeah.
You know
G.
what I'm saying? And this was, what year was that? I can't even remember. This was like,
This like what, like 10?
yeah, I think right.
Like 12,
20.
10, 11,
Yeah,
dog.
'cause I was a little too early.
Yeah.
That's where I
Yeah.
messed up at. I was a little too early, but you know what I'm saying? Because timing is everything.
Yeah.
So I got there, and the funds that they had that they were building, redeveloping the community, I guess it dried up for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I was there for about 3 years. I remember my store was pretty dope, man. The clothing store, because we started off with the clothing store first.
Custom made joints.
Yeah, went in there. I knew Ray's was there, so Ray's had the parking lot jumping already. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, we just put some dope stuff in here. It's gonna be seen. You feel me? I wasn't anticipating the mindset though. You know what I mean? The mindset's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Can you add on to also, because I think another dynamic is to know the positive of what you're trying to do, but the negative from our own community
Correct.
are coming through with the
Correct.
malice and the hate,
Yeah,
the
man.
envy. And
That's what
can
I'm
you
saying.
elaborate
I
on that,
didn't
dude?
anticipate, like, you feel me? Like, because I love my peoples, man. You feel me? Like,
We do it for our people.
And you know, bro, you remember when I was rolling with the Panthers?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I love my peoples. You feel me?
My blood, you know, I could have
Yeah,
given up
you
a couple
like-
things. I
yeah,
ain't talking about the
yeah.
Reds, just a couple other things, my brother.
But I was running with
Forgive me out loud.
The new Black Panther Party, you feel me? Yeah, so you remember them days, but
Yeah.
I love my peoples, man. You feel me? So I didn't anticipate the pushback that I would have received, because when I had my store, like I had the whole floor, like the mural.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
Yeah, the mural was
mural
dope.
was
I was
of
reading
Africa with the with the slave trading routes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had I don't know if you remember this, 'cause I took it down after a while. Half the cast didn't understand what it was. I had the red, black, and green flag.
Yeah. RBG?
This was
Yeah.
bad before anybody was even talking about red, black, and green,
Right.
or woke,
Or wearing
any of that.
arms
You
or
feel me?
anything
Like,
that, right?
because that's what I came from, like being up north, the 5% God body.
Yeah,
mass,
exactly,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I was already up
Up
on
north,
that.
it's a whole different ball.
Yeah, you feel me?
With the
Shopping
education
early,
that
Dr.
you get.
York or
Yeah.
whatever.
We ain't
So I was-
knocking that.
Yeah.
Education's for everybody now.
Correct.
So let me not,
You know what I mean?
Separate
Nobody's getting
anybody.
knocked. They ain't-
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was just from young. I was
Exposure is
influenced.
everything.
Exposure.
Correct.
Exposure.
Correct. And that's what I was trying to push. So I had the store, right? I had the floor with the Africa, with the trade slaves, which is crazy because a lot of people didn't even know, like, the highest concentration of slaves was dumped off in Brazil.
Yeah.
You feel me? It wasn't even like, it was like
That was the post, because slavery started with the Portuguese becoming the middleman.
Correct.
So Portuguese were really the slave traders and the handlers and the exporter of slaves. So that's why you have a high impact of Afro-Brazilians
Correct.
Exactly.
in Brazil. But he is one of the largest African populations in South America of your Brazilian folks.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying, my G? I'm all fun and games, but know your history.
Yeah,
Stay
man.
woke.
Yeah, you feel me? So I had the whole routes on the floor. I had the you know, the trolley that drives through the neighborhood. I had that as my dressing room. You feel me? I had the tags with Dr. Six Trunk and the history of who Dr. Six Trunk was. You feel me? Had the custom clothes. Had the upcoming cats with clothing. Anybody who was upcoming, you was able to push your stuff in my store. You feel me? Like
Consignment,
yeah,
local
consignment. Some joints I bought right out just to give you bread in your pocket.
The
Put it
real
in the store.
buy back the block.
Yeah,
Thing that they now doing now. My man was on it 10 years early.
Bro, really, that's why that Nipsey thing hit me so hard, because what he did on Slauson was kind of what I was trying to do on Six Trunk. You feel me? How he had the businesses and it became a hot spot or whatever. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. But yeah, my peoples, man, they wasn't on it. Like most of the business came from outside. I had people coming in.
This is the problem, not to cut you off. This is the problem. The problem is that most people of color, be it Hispanic, be it really, I'm just gonna I'll put it out there and say it, mainly blacks and Hispanics, Islanders and American. Well, I guess you can say Black Americans, Island Americans, a little less than Black Americans.
Right.
And
Different
Hispanics,
history,
different history, of course.
Black is black.
And not black and black, black is black. But we
And Hispanics too.
tend to have this notion that these things are so incredible. Like, what makes you think you're that good that you're gonna have a store? You can start a business, or you can have this, or you can have that. Oh, you need to go to school. You need to go to school forever and ever and go work for someone else. So with that mixed notion, with not believing, so from childhood you're trained to believe that you're not good enough to be
That's what it
a
is.
Walt Disney, like Kanye would say, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
This could be such a whole different episode, but what I want to say, the factors that we face as a whole, an individual, from the home and the community, is doubt and manipulation. And that is a true enemy. And it's so programmed and systematically put on to our ancestors and our parents and our brothers and sisters around us, dog, that we plant the seed within our own house with that, brother.
That's the thing people don't realize though, man. Like they feel like it's so easy to just get up and do something, or with all these opportunities, what's the problem? It starts in the mindset.
It starts in the mindset.
You know what I'm saying? It starts in,
That's what I said.
it happens in the womb, man. The energy and what the parents is digesting and consuming, it goes into the womb. So before you even born, you already come with these subconscious thoughts in your mind. You feel me? It's deeper than what people usually try to give.
Curses, things of those sorts.
Is that what brought you in to the?
Well, the picture, So let me bring it back. Let me tie it back in. So with all that was going on, the resistance I was receiving, me and my girl, my shorty, we had a baby. You know what I'm saying? And I have older kids. You feel me? So it was like during the nightlife and living that kind of life. And even with the stores, the tattoo joint that I ended up opening up after, all that was taking me away from the seeds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my older kids, I didn't feel like I got enough opportunity to be with them as much as I could have. You know what I'm saying? And my girl's mother actually, real fit lady. She's in her 60s. You wouldn't even know it, back all cut up or whatever. And she's just genetics, man. Like she's African, bro. Yeah.
Yo,
like
the genetics thing is real.
You know what I'm saying? It's an African genetic.
It's people you see in the gym where I'm like, it don't matter how much.
They're just cut. She
like
just
that.
looks. You know what I'm saying? And,
that's their genes.
She kind of brought it to me, like, because she was new to the community, and I don't know if y'all familiar with the Herbalife thing or whatever. She ran into one of them folks. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, oh, come with me and try this fitness thing or whatever, right? So me being the good son-in-law, I guess you could say, right? It was like, oh, I'll support it. Let me see what's going on.
Yeah, you're going heavy with that too.
Yeah,
you're successful in that.
Correct. So I was trained with them, and it just felt different, man. Like we did workouts here and there when you're younger, when you're just trying to get big or whatever, but you never really focus on being healthy. I mean, this was a different mindset.
Mm-hmm.
This was a different mindset. So boom. Got into the health introduced by her. You feel me? And me being who I am with the business mindset, as soon as I started working out and training, I seen how it made me feel. I was spending more time with my shorty or whatever. I just opened up a nutrition club, and took it from there. You feel me? And one thing led to another thing. It was actually you that hit me with the whole train with Q thing. But you hit it with what you said.
It's a catchphrase.
like
It's a
Q
dope
train
word,
you.
Yeah,
catchphrase.
yeah, so that was what he said. He was like,
Yeah.
let Q train you. You
Yeah,
feel me?
yeah,
And it
yeah.
kind of clicked to me.
I think I brought you your first 2 cars.
You did. You actually
A
did.
loyal client
Yeah,
too,
that's
though.
how you did. Yeah.
Shout out to her the
When I
day
had
she ever watches the
correct.
show.
When I had the nutrition club, the first couple people who was coming to the club was through him. You feel me?
My ass wasn't working out then, but you know, I was good to support through my own ways.
For real, for
Black
real.
Lex Rock himself.
Yeah,
So that
I'm
was
on my
love.
fit shit now, though.
You know what I'm saying? But it transformed to train with Q, and by train, like train WIT with Q. It's funny how that happened because I was trying, you know, the Instagram hashtags, boom boom train, da da da.
Yeah, yeah.
I went to do the hashtag, and it was train with Q. That's how I had it originally, WITH with. But that was taken. The hashtag was taken. So I didn't want to add on to somebody else's hashtag or whatever. So I was
Right.
like, yo, how can I create my own hashtag? And so I did train with Q, but I didn't want it to be like wit, like I'm spitting slang or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
That's
train
right,
wit.
yeah.
I was like, yo, wit, you know what I'm saying? Intelligence. Train with Q, train with intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So I flipped it for the wit being intelligence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Witty or whatever.
Witty.
Yeah, so it became train with Q, train with intelligence or whatever. And that's how that jumped off. And I've been doing that for what, 3 years now? Like at least the training thing. I mean, the train with Q, we got resistant bands, we got clothes dropping. All that is fairly new as of this year. But that's just my business mind clicking. I got an app that I'm training my clients online with. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
And you have a strong international market.
Yeah,
You're saying from
yeah.
when we talked, like
Correct.
15% is
It was around
based off of
like
Africa.
15% is South
Alone.
African, but there's like a
Okay.
5% like in little areas in Africa. Yeah, because
5% is what you need, my brother.
yeah, so it's a total of 20% in Africa. You feel me? And that happened
Big
because
market.
I wanted to get into Africa with my shorty being African, her family being African, and they always going back or whatever. I was like, how could I infiltrate Africa without actually being to Africa? So I did a lot of marketing and promoting in Africa, like African markets or whatever. And my following built up from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I got about 20% followers from Africa. That's just me planting the seeds for when I do go out there. Like, I at least ain't
Right.
going big. You feel me? But that's the power of the internet. And that's what I'm saying. If you want some, you want to get it, man, it's nothing really stopping you now. Like, there's no middleman no more. You know what I'm saying? And what's dope is, like, my ads will be working overhead because you could target your ads. That's the thing, you target your ads.
Yeah.
But it was going crazy in Africa. Like when I did my marketing in Africa, I was getting like, I'm talking about, I got like 900 followers just off like,
Wow.
yeah, it was different. You know what I'm
And
saying?
they're real people, and they're real followers.
Oh yeah,
That's the
real
thing
people,
now.
real people that talk
You
to me.
know.
Like those are, I got clients in Egypt, clients in South Africa, clients in
Yeah.
Kenya. You know what I'm saying? All through my app.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? It's
I mean,
pretty
look,
dope.
you know, look at me and trying to partner up with a radio station in
the
London.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the UK, and
Matter
that's
of fact.
a much smaller country.
I got the brand
You know.
endorsement. I'm a brand
Oh, yeah,
ambassador
yeah.
with a company from the UK.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
yeah. Aaron
Yeah,
Wallace.
politic about that.
Aaron Wallace. Yeah, they do male grooming or whatever.
Shout out to Aaron Wallace.
in the
I'll
UK.
give you some products, though.
Dope.
Is that
dope
the commercial
products.
that I saw on your IG the other day?
I don't know.
No. It was another. It was a black man's. Like,
I don't even know what's
beard.
on my IG half the time.
It was like a black man with facial hair type of.
Well, this
You
is
know,
this
beard
is what they
products
do.
thing.
You know what I mean? And
So
it's,
you know.
what's so dope about them because it's more natural. It's none of the chemicals, so it's not stripping your beard. I use that, and I was like, I fell in love with it because like it was
Nah,
rough.
black men are about their
Correct, the
beard.
beard, you know how it be rough sometimes. I don't even gotta throw water on my thing no more. I just be, you know what
I ain't front. This is all we got. Some of us.
Yeah, I love all upcoming brands, man. Matter of fact, this is a black brand, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know, we gotta support you. Listen, I was just watching. It was at Revolt.
Yeah.
It was one of the conference things that they did at Revolt with Master P and his son. And
He's so
Yo,
slept
P.
on, dog.
There was
People
yo,
don't give
Romeo-
P his props,
Bro,
dog.
he was playing ball, man, the NBA, bro.
Yeah, but
People
P,
forget
P,
that,
P,
man.
people do not give P his props, brother.
Yeah.
And
What?
I met the man plenty of times, worked with him back in the day. Great, solid man, dog.
Right.
He gets opportunities, but he does not get the props he needs to
He will,
get
though.
in the game.
It's sad because it usually be after you gone, but
Yeah.
he has
He will.
to, man.
He has to.
will.
So what he was talking about was, you know, how I made it, and it's funny because you touched on it a bit. He's like, when black people, when the problem with black people is when we try to start a business or we try to start something, we don't educate ourselves, or we don't go to the right people. So say for instance, you might have a homeboy or a homegirl or whomever, and it's like, hey, yo, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I got the money, I'll front you the money or whatever, but it's like, all right, you front me the money, but what do you know about what I'm trying to do? So even if you give me the money, how are you going to instruct me on what to do with it? What are the steps? Right, exactly. How do I get a return on my investment? So it's like, if you come to me and you're like, yo, I want to start a clothing brand. I don't know anything about, clothing brands, how to start, manufacturers, distribution, anything like that. But you talk to me about music, you talk to me about other areas. All right, we can talk. But at the very beginning, I'm not an investor also. So it's like things like that. But basically, they touched on investing in black-owned businesses, and they started their own. Amongst many other businesses. Romeo, his son, the sneakers were something. He's like,
little cheetahs and zebra prints and exotic.
Yeah, like they're like crazy.
It's called I can't pronounce it. It's Mosachi or something.
Yeah, they stay with some stuff, but the key point that you just pointed out too, even though sometimes a lot of us may be slack on like the business acumen of things, but one thing we do as the power of Black and Brown is know how to get things out there by word of mouth or advertisement. And look how many other times we make so many other corporations booming and big. Like we make it hot, and then they come in, and you know what I mean by that, and profit off of it. Right. We put things on the map, we make it trendy, they come and take it, repackage it, and we miss out. You know what I mean? So by that, on the small scale of everybody pursuing their entrepreneur avenues, just alone the community and just your homeboys and homegirls can physically put it out there. Like it doesn't hurt to post. It doesn't cost anything to post or do a referral. Sometimes that is the strongest form of promotions and advertisement, is the referral or the cosign.
And on top of
especially
that,
if you have a reputable character.
And on top of that, just to try to throw that in there, we're a little too hard on black businesses as well, man. Like, I see it all the time, like, oh, this customer service or this, and I get it, you know what I'm saying?
But that's their first time in the
That's what I'm saying. It's a small business. You can't expect them to be competitive price-wise with larger companies. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect them to be able to get the same kind of resources that these other companies got. You
that's
know
two of the biggest business expenses is training and marketing.
Correct. You feel me? So
spend money
it's
on
like
this, billions on that.
Let's say you have a bad experience, and I'm not saying to back it up. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you get a bad experience. It's like, yo, F that brand or whatever. But then you got Gucci dropping whatever they dropping, and this brand dropping whatever they dropping. Exactly. It's like, and you forgive them.
Nah, that shit's crazy. Them motherfuckers call you a fucking nigga, a queen,
right in front of your face,
stick to your face, and you motherfuckers
going to buy the most expensive thing in there. And you gonna go right back and do it.
That shit bananas.
But the moment a black brand be like, yo, I'm having a bad day today. Oh, fuck this customer service, and you walk out and you never turn back to them. You feel me? Like, we gotta be a little more supportive with each other. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I bank black or whatever, right? Like with One United, and I've been 8 years now, 7 years or something with them, and sometimes they ain't the most convenient. You feel me? They mad far from me. It ain't always convenient. But
yeah, we close. It's Monday, but we close, man. We close.
But I'm like, yo, you know what?
Love taking Sundays and Mondays off.
I might have to get a second bank account that's a little closer when shit get hard. But at the same time, I ain't cutting my break off.
You gotta call it Tuesday.
Y'all gotta come to Miami.
Y'all gonna work today.
Y'all are clowning.
But you gotta support it though. You feel me? You just gotta support it till we make it, man. Cause
we do.
We
and we will. And we will.
You know what I mean?
So before you step out of here, before you get out of here, how does everybody know, how do all the viewers and the listeners here, South Florida, London, abroad, worldwide, how does everybody know how to find you?
Trainwithq.com. TrainWitQ.com. My IG is q.millie, q.milli, and everything else is the same. Train with Q.
Train with Q. Do you have your product with you?
Yeah, I do actually. I got my bands, my resistant bands. They. Grab it real quick. You get to see
producers, we got the.
Okay.
And the resistance bands are the workout bands that you can take anywhere though.
They're getting a little more attention.
You know what I'm saying? Train with Q.
All right.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pound resistant bands that you can put together.
Bag.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, ladies, it's your time to, get trained with Q-Sack.
All right.
So yeah, you could connect them to the doors. You could, you know what I mean? You put the handles on them. You could connect them all together.
So we definitely are training.
You feel me? So you train at the crib. Yeah, we need to train.
We're training.
You feel me? You connect that to the door. Here's a little ankle bracelets. You
Yeah,
feel me?
that's for the machines.
To work the butt,
even.
work the, you know what I mean?
Even, you can even
like
put on machines, so.
I don't know if I'll be able to show it, but basically what you do is, I'll show you a quick sample real quick. You know what I'm saying? Basically what you do is you connect the handles. You know what I mean? This is a 50-pound right here. The black is a 50-pound.
Okay, so the colors signify resistance.
Yeah, the resistance.
Yeah, each
The
resistance,
yellow one
you know
is
what I'm saying?
usually the easier one.
But
The red one is hard. The green
It's
one
real.
is
It's marked right there for you. You feel
Okay.
me? So 50 pounds right
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying? You see
I was
the training?
ignorant to
The
that.
difference-
I thought you had to put physical
You know what
weights
I'm
on
No,
it.
no,
Nah,
no.
so
Alright.
boom. I'll give you a quick example. You know what I mean? So you got it right here.
Yeah.
You could do
You can
arms
bring
with
it
that.
up.
You know what I mean? Shoulders
Yeah.
with it. You
Alright.
feel me? You can connect it around the
You can raise
ankle.
it all the way up.
Put it by the door.
Great.
Do
And
the
anyone can
booty.
use it for all
You know what I'm
ages,
saying?
you know what I mean?
And you can put them all together to make 150 pounds of resistance. So for the cats who like, oh, I don't got no heavy, right there, you don't even have to leave your crib. You feel me? So basically, the whole thing is like, with my 6 minutes you're on
Yeah.
workouts or whatever, which is all 6-minute workouts that could be done in 6 minutes. Because I'm trained with intelligence. You feel me? I know everybody busy. I know everybody don't got time. Not everybody could leave and go to the gym or whatever. So the whole program I got set up, you can do every workout in there in 6 minutes. You
And
know
they
what I
can
mean?
do it. They can do it with you too on the
And
IG.
do
They
it
can see your
correct,
clips on how
correct.
to do it.
You feel me? And you don't gotta leave. You got
Alright.
the band, so you got some resistance and some weight. So you feel me? So I'm just trying to make it convenient
No
for the cats to be
excuses.
home. No excuses.
No excuses.
Train
Straight with
You
Q.
feel me?
All right,
that
Q. I
real
want to
quick
thank
for
you
the
for coming
camera,
by, man.
Thank you for having me. Of
Thank
course.
you, thank you.
Love what y'all doing. IV
We are,
talks.
we
Love.
are, we are gonna be
You already
doing
know.
some training. We already
Hey,
know.
you gotta
for
hit me. I
sure.
know you busy. You know what I mean?
Nah, I'm here building just like you.
Making it big. You feel me?
We're here now with our second guest of the night,
Uh-huh.
my man McCleasy.
Uh-huh.
Of Grind Mode,
Uh-huh.
Icons fame.
Yeah.
Just finished dropping the mixtape with Sensei.
Yeah.
He's out here doing his own thing and gonna go back on the road again, doing a couple shows with Icons and doing his material from Grind Mode and doing his solo stuff.
Yeah.
He got the video Nan Nig out, which is a rendition of the Trick and Trina hit.
Yes.
So it's like 20 years today now, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 20?
Yeah, it's 99.
2009.
Yeah.
99. So you know, and shout out to Trick and Trina too. They got a local.
99.
They doing 99 jams in the morning out here, so that's big. So they're on radio as a duo. But McCleasy, man, you did a lot of records for them behind the scenes and did a lot of stuff for yourself solo. Big hit records.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
So High,
Yeah.
Ecstasy,
Yeah.
the infamous, famous Get Crunked Up. We
Get
know
Crunked
that. Flo Rida redid the song recently, right?
Yeah. You going to just throw everything out in the first minute?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nothing to talk about.
Now, there's plenty to talk about because we about to.
I know you go. I'm messing with
No,
you.
he's
Let's go.
done. All right.
Producer!
Anyways,
I ain't like his pretty ass anyway.
Oh,
Let's
jeez.
go.
Anyway, so you guys started out as producers, right? Called Committee?
No, all right, well,
If I'm aware.
well, actually,
Correct.
the committee was behind Icons. Icons is actually the name of the label.
Ah, okay.
So it was similar to like how Rough Riders was. Like Rough Riders was a label, but everybody who was on the label was a Rough Rider. So you had the Locks, you had DMX, you had
Drag on.
Dragon. Yeah, so that's how the whole situation was. You know, the label was Icons, and we actually did the Street Money was supposed to be a compilation album featuring everybody from Miami.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what people don't know, the committee, or they switched to Drum Rangers now, but the committee was doing production for everybody. Did production with Trig,
Trina.
Verb, Trina. I knew Trina before she was even famous like that. Like everybody, they was doing production for everybody, and so we did the whole the compilation album, Street Money album, and we had the whole album done, but we didn't have two records on it. We didn't have Get Crunked Up, and we didn't have a record called We Ain't Going Home Tonight. And,
That's crazy.
And we just left Kapalua out, and DJ Grill was like, yo, the album's good. Y'all got a lot of people on it. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't got a club record.
Shout out to DJ Grill.
So it was like, nah, so we Tech had did a track that that he actually sent a trick and tricked them like a track, which was to get crunked up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny how it works.
It's crazy.
Right.
So
They definitely make sure.
And that's before you guys started working. Is that before you guys started working with him, or y'all
No,
was already
we were
working?
already working with him. That's
Okay.
why he's, we doing. Well, I wasn't doing the production with him. I was just a writer and an artist on the label.
Okay.
But the committee, which is Gorilla Tech and Track 5-3, Touche, Fence, and Chapter, which was also one of the rappers on Get Crunked Up, and they was just hustling beats. That's how we was doing. They was doing their things in with the music. I was doing my thing in the streets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then we just like we just came in one grounds because I was tired of being in the streets and they was trying to being hungry. So
Right.
we just worked it out and got it popping. But
You got creative.
and yeah, and,
Hungry does that.
yeah, he played the record and there was a little sketch or something like that, but I heard the track and I just like literally like went in there and I freestyled the hook, which was if you smoke weed now in this bitch and you all wanna climb, got a drink that you can't put down,
Okay.
wanna fight when the shit go down.
Boy, when that
Right.
song used to come on in the
When it still come on.
Yeah, when it still comes
They got some
on.
memorable verses on there. That chorus is everything.
You know what's crazy? Internationally.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Internationally. I've heard that song in London and I've heard it in Paris. Yeah,
we did,
like,
we went to
in the-
London and we need to go back, but yeah, we went to London.
Yeah, you gotta go, but who doesn't need to go
Left a
back?
couple kids out there.
No. If you see a guy that looks like me, though, it's not mine. It's not mine.
Jesus Lord.
He can't be mine.
Anyway.
I pulled out.
So all right. So then, when did it hit you? Like, so what was it when you guys dropped? Get crunked up.
There was here's the
Is
funny-
that
I
when it hit
told
you? Like, holy.
Now, here's the weird thing. I told Rock the story before. Fence didn't. I had to sneak the record out the studio.
Oh.
Like I got the record. I had a copy of it. Like back in the days, you burn a little CD, and I'm like, yo, this record is dope.
Burning CD.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, this record is dope. And I said, I went to it's Chris Styles.
Yeah. Okay. This is how I guess a hold of DJ Griot and Big
Yeah,
Will.
so I called
Right.
Rio.
Rest in peace, Big Will. Fat Man
I
Promotions.
said, yo, I got the record, yo. I think I got the record. I come up to it, and
Sunday
I give
night
it to
at this
Sunday night. I gave it to Griot,
Set
and
the scene.
Griot's like, he's doing his set, but he's like, I said, you fucking with it? He's like, I'm sure what I'm gonna do with it. And like a minute later, I hear it was the Missy record. If that your
The
chick?
big- yeah.
It's like he played that, and then right in it. That's why
Oh,
that's why
shit.
to this day when you hear DJs get ready to mix and get fucked up,
Dun, dun,
that
dun.
comes
Yeah,
in there.
you hear it.
That
Yeah.
and then the other it was that your
Yeah.
chick, and then the other record by Missy the other one she got that's up tempo. Anyway,
Which one?
yeah,
She's a bitch.
Yeah,
What's the
she's
song?
a bitch.
She's a bitch.
Yeah,
All right.
that.
And he-
That eating shit with the Rough Rider
Yeah.
shit. There was some records you was mixing back then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
He
he
he,
was
hating
ride
it,
or
but
die
he just
shit.
showing the significance of the record.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he dropped the record. Dun, 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 pulled back, and the crowd just like. You're like I've never to this day I have never seen a record get broke like this and have this response. To this day, I don't
That's
care.
Scooby-Doo shit.
Like it was just like it was like almost like if people
That
were playing with
moment.
you know how people are playing with
Yeah.
their phone now. If people were playing with their phones then, it would have been that response. So like dun dun dun.
Yeah, when you hear
Is
it.
that your
yeah.
chick? Is that your chick? Dun dun dun. And I mean, like by the time he did that for a good 5 to 10 minutes, just. Dun, 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 like for 10 minutes playing records and just dun, dun, dun.
Oh, the whole night he was leading up to it with
Oh.
other records.
He
what
finally
a
dropped
DJ,
his
yo.
record.
What other records though?
The same records we
Oh,
just
so
said,
it's still
right?
the same set.
Like just keeping it.
Yo,
keeping it.
hold on,
Same
man,
record
hold
we
on.
just
The
said.
thing
This
about
guy.
the story is the details, my man.
I think
You know
we
what I
just
mean?
said this
Nah, when you
record.
saying he's backing up 10 times, nigga. She's a bitch is only a 3-minute song, nigga. So
Yeah, no,
you know what I
because he
mean?
didn't play
Shit.
it. He didn't play
Shit.
the record. He played the thumb.
Shit.
He played, so
No,
finally
the
he dropped.
DJ was dragging the record like.
Listen.
And nigga, this is
She got it.
okay,
She
but
got
this
it.
Miami,
With the
nigga, you saying like this nigga just doing this shit the whole night, like he building up a fucking like a climax.
All
Yeah,
right,
oh,
listen.
shit, nigga.
Long story short is when you know how a song is made and when you know how a beat is made,
Yeah.
you can recognize certain bass lines. So all the DJ has to do is recognize certain patterns to be able to
I
continuously
know that part,
blend.
my sister. I was a
Mr.
DJ.
Prior DJ.
I broke records. I put shit down. Okay, I got some stories too, but that's a whole different
all
episode.
right. Let the man.
But go ahead, McCleasy.
I'm
Set
sorry.
the tone.
I'm gonna stop you because you having your little Richard moment. All right, listen. So, he finally dropped the record.
Local
Dun,
legend
dun, dun.
stories.
Wait, weren't you working for us though?
Huh? No. Atlantic. Right. I got the bigger check. The bigger check.
So he finally dropped it, dun dun dun, and the crowd just explodes. Like he plays the record, brings it back, plays it again. So now for 10 minutes he's just playing this record. The record, like you said, is only 3 minutes long. He played the record for 10 minutes, stops it, plays a couple records. He's like, y'all ain't ready for it, and brings it again. So this is like, the 1 o'clock is the time that you really break a record back then. 1 o'clock because
Yeah, Miami.
So the club's closed.
Yeah.
I'm like, the response is crazy. I'm calling Vince. I'm like, we got one.
Yeah.
So the club is closed. And
At like 4 in the morning.
the four in the morning, the guests are walking out the club.
No, you got to give the story to the people because other people they said they shut down that 2 and shit.
No, the four in the moment, the guests are leaving. The bartenders, the beer bags or whatever like that, they're packing their stuff up. Grillo
Probably
brings
like
it.
5 o'clock at Cristal back
He
then.
brings the.
Shit,
I tell you what,
that's
you tell
7
the
in the
story.
morning.
No, go ahead, my
Okay.
nigga.
So he brings the record back in. He brings the record back in. The
It's
bartenders, the waitresses are on the bar dancing. The people that were leaving the club come back into the club, and they start dancing. The club runs for another hour. They played the record so much. The next week we had a paid show.
Wow.
They don't even know who's doing this. They don't even know who performed the song. All they know is that record was so hot. The promoter was like, "Yo, who?" We had a show the next week.
Or was it Joe back then?
I don't remember who it was. I just we got paid.
Butter.
Damn.
No, I don't think it was Motherfucker.
No, not Butterfoot, but the other.
I don't know. So I mean, that's the story of that. And to this day, I've never seen a record even come close to being broke like that. Like the energy, the response is stupid.
Want to see me fuck with him? What about that Takashi record though?
Takashi. Yeah.
No, okay, brother. So
You know what? You even got.
I know who he despises, but after the Icons record and the fame and the touring with everything, what made you branch off and develop grind mode? What inspired that? Or
At the end of the day, sometimes you gotta leave the nest to grow. You know what I'm saying? A bird can't fly unless it's pushed out the nest.
Exactly.
And we those was my brothers. Like we went to we went to school together and everything like that. So you know what I'm saying. But that was their company.
was it by choice though to venture out or?
Yeah, no, it was a situation where it was by choice. It's like they had ventured into making movies. They had made the Blood, like we were working on the Bloodline movie. At the time, I had a little bit of a health scare. I thought I had cancer, so I had stopped doing music and everything like that. And got back into the streets. Left the music alone, but you know what you know when you know it. You know what I'm saying? And like when you wake up in the morning and you go to sleep and that's all you think about, then that's what you should be doing. And it took a dude that I used to know back in the day called Hunger. To this day, that's my dog. And he was like always bringing me. He's like, yo, you the man. Let me hit. Here's my new music or whatever. Like, and I was like, yo, I'll fuck with it. He was doing the Dope Boy talk before Ross and all of them was doing the shit. Like, so I'm like, yo, I'll fuck with that. And I was still, I was still stage of Icon. So I'm doing hosting gigs and pulling up and doing we call it open mics and everything like that. And that's how I bumped into Chaos. And I just like when I heard his cadence and the way he spit and the way his flow, I was like, you know what? I want to do a super group. I want to do a down south Wu-Tang. So I got Chaos, Hunger, Lil Strike, Knox, Figgy McKnight. It was a couple, like Grind Mode was originally like 9 members. A lot of people don't know that. Like if you got the first mixtape, you'll see a whole bunch of faces on it. Grind Mode was originally 9 members, and we was tearing up the clubs, doing shows. We had a record called Yayo that they was bumping or whatever like that. We shot the video for. We did the Oh No record, but when we started promoting the Yo-Yo record, I had did a production and started working on the I'm So High record, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking with this shit, but I couldn't get it to the way I really heard it in my head, so I passed it off to Tech. Tech listened to it. He said, yo, you got something here, let me see what I could do with it. So he added to the drums and everything was done, but he added the synth sound or whatever like that and gave it that little that feel to it. So literally the whole thing, my whole verse and hook was already laid. He just played the beat underneath it. I mean, played the synths underneath everything I did. And then when we heard it, I was like, yo, this is it. I already knew it was it before I even took it to a club.
And this is I'm So High.
This was I'm So High.
Now, I'd like to ask you about the record, because to me, the record is symbolic. It was a big record, nationwide.
Right.
But to me, it's an ode to Miami in its own way.
Yeah.
Now, with the influence on the track of what I get from it, I get the old school rendition of a little bit of the Alexander O'Neal and Cheryl. And then I get the whole freestyle tempo to it. Now, when you had it, was it already in there? Was that already the components to the beat?
It's just,
or did he add to it, or no? Like,
no, he added to it, but it was already there. Like the beat was just there. It was just like, that's how I was vibing. Like, you know, I taking a little bit of the old school. I'm a child of all music. Like I don't even like to just say I like hip hop or reggae or country or pop or rock or whatever like that, or grunge. It's just I like all music. So like when I'm producing something, I add elements of everything into it. Like even when you listen to Ecstasy, I was surprised that Ecstasy took to the streets like it did, because Ecstasy has techno elements all in it.
You made a juking movement, brother, that's still here to this day.
But they call it juking because they're juking to it. But but if you actually listen to the track, it's techno elements all through that beat.
I gotta go back and listen to it.
It's like a lot of, I mean, but it is what it is. It's like I just poured what I knew into my music, and I gave the people gave it to the people, and they was like, yo, we fucking with it, because it's like, it was something different. You know, at the time when the I'm So High dropped, you had everybody was a dope boy now. Everybody was hating on, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, it's like,
it's real swaggy around that time.
My thing is, Miami is always and will always be known for dancing and partying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like even back in the days, even the dope boys and the lick boys, like they be sitting up there like, yo, we gonna rob you. But like you let that loop come on, it's like, oh, that's the dope boy. You dig what I'm saying?
The bad boys on drop the gun on the dance floor trying to.
Exactly, they gonna throw the beat. You dig what I'm saying? So like that's what we known for. So I ain't gonna stop, and I'm just gonna give you what we got.
So real quick then. So now where does that take us now? So we're showing the track real, brother, from the Icons movement to the Grind Mode movement. Now you're doing your solo.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Grind Mode
outside the mixtape. What Sensei? My bad.
Yeah. Grind Mode is, like I said, a Wu-Tang. So when I do my stuff, it's and see, here's the issue. Chaos was doing his thing, Hunger was doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. So then it's like, oh, Grind Mode broke up. I'm like, that's funny. I just started Chaos yesterday, or I just started Hunger yesterday. And what people don't get is, your fingers are strong, but they're stronger with a fist, but they're only as strong as the fingers are. You get what I'm saying? So like, in order for the group, like, so I felt like sometimes people weren't appreciating what we were doing. I feel like we were ahead of our times, because look, people are now singing, rapping now. It's a everyday thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But we did that like nothing when everybody else was doing their thing, and then look what came after us. what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like we were ahead of our times with certain trends, and nobody's. The whole process is be original. Don't yeah, you like what we did, but we stepped outside of what everybody else was doing to do us.
Big time.
We us like we came out. We were doing wrestling moves and throwing DX signs when we performed and everything like that because that was us. That was who we were. But people came out trying to be us. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, we stepped back and Chaos was doing his thing because he had to, you know, when we're clicked up, it's more of a us situation and you get lost because you can't do you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Same thing with Hunger, same thing with me. So we wanted to let people know that we can do our own individual things, but when we come back as grind mode, for what people think as grind mode, you're gonna hear the same thing. You're gonna hear great music.
Do you feel your energy and focus is more potent now with the genre of music? Are you trying to make something compatible with house now, or just do your own lane and figure that you have your own batch that's brewing?
I'm always gonna do my own lane because I can't do what anybody else do. I'm that dude that's left field. Like as soon as I hear it, I'll be like, oh, that's dope. I know not to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not dissing what they doing. Is like because there's some artists out there I like, but that's them. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to. We ain't eat the same thing. We ain't shit the same way. So I can't do what they do with the authenticity that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I just can do what I do and be me. So when I hear something else, I don't try to mimic it. I just do me. Now, if it comes out sounding like that or can be mixed in with that, then that's what it is. But I'm always gonna be me. Like you know that I'm always gonna be me.
You sound like
Hard
you're
to deal
very
with,
very knowledgeable. Not in just the music industry, but just all around your vernacular, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself. Before we close out, do you see yourself outside of doing your own solo project, group projects, or any endeavors in music? Do you see yourself managing or perhaps mentoring someone else who may be new and know nothing about the game, but has talent?
I've done all of that. I was managing a couple. I took time. Like I stepped away from music and just said, like me when I put myself into doing something, I'm like hyper focused.
Okay.
So like when I became a manager, I wasn't doing music.
Right.
When I was doing the writing and producing, like I was doing music, but I was doing music to give to like Flow Rider or B.O.B. or Juvenile, whoever I was working with, you know what I'm saying? But like, as far I don't have a problem doing that because like let's be honest. Unfortunately, in the hip hop industry, age is a problem. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the few genres of music where they don't respect the elders, and it's a societal thing because we do it with our black elders to begin with. Period. Whereas in you know what I'm saying, Rolling Stones and the Eagles are still touring and the motherfuckers is 80 years old.
Yeah.
And they got new fan base, and what trips me out is it was like, oh well, their fans are no. Well, here's the problem. Music genres, we got hip hop, and what happens is the soon as a new wave comes in, we stop catering to the ones that came before. So the 30-year-old, the 40-year-olds, the 50-year-olds that grew up in hip hop have nothing to listen to because they choose not to listen to what's coming out now. So there's no stations, there's no music.
That's why I want to interject with.
Well, you know what? I can say. Let me change that because now I notice 105 is starting to play more.
But they're late with that, but that's just on our market. I know we have XM radio and they're trying to do that, but to me they jumped so. They took too long to jump onto that vehicle, that machine, because you have 40 years of hip hop, but you're now doing this within a 10-year period. Like,
right.
And that has to be in every market. For every market that can have a dual hip hop station, you need a format for 80s and 90s hip hop to definitely keep those dollars generating, still give that platform for those other artists to still drop in the new music and come in. Only certain major markets do it. But
I agree. There's no reason that a Fat Boys or Run DMC should be touring exactly like the Eagles are touring or whatever like that, but these stations are not set up in every market to help these artists.
Of
And,
course.
But
you
that
know
comes
what's
down
sad?
to the PDs though, man, because it's 40 years of music, but these, you know, no disrespect, but a lot of markets I've been to, the motherfuckers only want to play shit that's relevant for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they oversaturate it, and that's crazy. Like there's too much music out there.
You know what?
Yes.
Here's the sad thing. Outside of where the music was created, outside
Yeah.
in Europe, outside in Africa, outside in Japan, Chinese,
It's still like the
China.
grassroots of hip hop.
Wu Tang is touring. Das
is
Effects
getting-
is
Das
touring.
Effects.
Like so.
China.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we
Like
get
so,
all
they
that.
respect and they don't have a problem. But our society is like, all right, you know what? He's hit. That now it's what did it say? Oh, he's 30. You old. You old as a rapper. 30?
Yeah.
But truthfully though, some of the at least the top 10 rappers though is literally like 35 and better in the game easily.
Easily.
This is
Easily, some even in the 40s. You got Rose, you got Jigga, like that are still relevant, like
Yeah,
that are
still.
up there. You know, Game up there in age. He just dropped one. Shout out to his album. You know, like you got a lot of dudes that's up there in age, 35 and better, just literally dropping that's hot. Gotti up there.
Wow.
I agree, but it's just like for whatever
Khaled
reason,
up there.
it's just
Khaled
the
counts
society
rapper.
and the radio stations are not backing the rappers who and then they complain about, oh well, these kids are not talking about nothing. Yeah, but the ones that were talking about something, you shut out, you blackballed.
Yeah.
Right.
So like we're forced to listen to this until somebody older schools them and say, yo, you can talk about something different. You know what I'm saying? Like dudes don't love women. I mean, I'm thinking we got a whole bunch of gay rappers growing up. They hate women. They can't stand women. Niggas over hoes all day long. I'm sorry, I love women, so most of my songs are about women. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I mean,
that's another topic. Though.
Yeah,
That's probably a lot of shit lacking in the household though, and a lot of propaganda. But
Yeah.
what I do want to give credit though to the younger
I would-
artists and viewers and stuff, like even though what you're saying, like no one's correcting the mistake, but at the same time you still got a lot of music that's bumping and hot with younger artists because they have different channels. So there's a lot of shit where we don't have to go listen to the radio in your city. We
Right.
got a whole bunch of mixtape outlets. We got a whole bunch of YouTube and Vivo videos that are out there. We got the World Star channels and the
playlists.
SoundCloud shit.
Yeah,
So like there's some
SoundCloud.
dumb, crazy,
Yeah.
hot shit that's in your neighborhood and in your city that we don't know about, but it's on that internet vibe.
And there's industry
Like
plans
there's some
too.
shit like yo, like that's
you know
jumping.
the term industry plan?
Huh?
An industry plan.
No.
That's when the industry.
Can we put that on there? Industry. Yeah.
Yeah, before we wrap it up, an industry plan is basically somebody who, let's say I'm Atlantic,
Yeah.
and let's say I see you, and I'm like, I want to make you the next biggest thing. We're gonna slowly but surely put you underneath the gimmick into the industry, and out of nowhere, you're gonna be on this album, this feature, this,
okay.
and this, magazine covers. A good example would be Lizzo.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another good example probably would be Tekashi 6ix9ine. Another one would be Lil Pump.
I really thought these people were organic though.
There's some
what
research
is,
there.
what is really organic? Like,
That's what I'm telling you.
Going
There's
viral and
reasons.
popping off. Like those
Look at-
are machines that were brought into the thing without the labels.
That's what
They did it naturally, and then they got the attention of the labels.
Let me tell you something. These people can make up and create any story just like any movie you see on the screen. I'll leave it at that. And with that being said, thank you for coming through. I would love to have you back to have like a little bit more of a longer talk with you in terms of the industry and some conspiracy theories. I don't know how much
Motherfuckers trying to take my job.
I'm not trying.
Oh, what's up, B?
You could never take your.
No, how can
Work
people?
for free.
How can people find you? How can people get access to your latest music?
All right. Well, the latest album is called
And your
Wait.
clothing brand, please, since we
Yes.
get to touch on
The
that.
latest album is called Wait, What Were You Expecting? It's on all streaming app platforms. It's McCleezy of Grind Mode, MCKLEZIE of Grind Mode, and Sensei.
Shout out to Sensei.
We got 18 cuts on that album. We just dropped that. We got the videos out everywhere. As far as finding me, I'm everywhere. McCleezy, MCKLEZIE. YouTube, IG. I'm always on IG, Facebook, everything. And my clothing line is called Mingo. I do not have a website for it. I've sold out the first run of it. We should be re-upping soon with the new.
Can I have a shirt? Do you have female shirts?
I all my female ships are gone. But I
Man, I ask 3 questions before we get out.
Yeah, sure.
Your 3 tracks on the mixtape that you feel that people should check out. The 3 hottest or the 3 ones you like the best, or
I like Get Off. Get Off is one of my first favorite
Dope
ones
track.
because the energy, it's got grind mode on it. I like Dance Floor.
Yeah,
It's got
that's
an
sexy.
Afro beats, a vibe to it.
That's a big vibe in London.
Yeah,
That whole Afrobeat movement.
It's vibing, and
Yeah, I can see.
probably Nan, which we just shot the video for Nan,
Hey.
nigga,
That's
featuring
that.
Joanna King. Yeah,
all right. Question number 2. Who are the 3 rappers that influenced McCleasy?
3 rappers.
I don't need reasons. Just name 3 rappers.
Trick Daddy,
Trick. Shout out to Trick. Home
Shout out
team.
to Trey, home
Legend.
team. Home team.
Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane. All right, y'all. You know, go check into
Go
that. If you
check
don't know
out
about
that's
Big
the
Daddy.
NY team.
And
Juice Crew.
and Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes. Yo.
One of the greatest.
Nah, yeah, like
Yeah.
he's like Busta don't get his props though.
He doesn't get it, not as a lyricist and not as a spitter, just a flow, like the way
Yo,
he breathes.
creative
Yeah,
as a
just
whole.
as a whole.
Lyrical beast,
Yeah,
potent, got the acting chops down too.
yeah.
The fashion shit,
Good
like he was the
choices.
first one to really start branching off as a rapper with his fashion line too.
Bucci.
Yeah. On some crazy shit, but we got the Busta. And last question though,
Yeah.
3 current rappers that you feeling right now.
Good questions, Lex. Good questions.
I like. I mean, or they have to be new. Like I like
3
Drake.
current rappers out. Yeah, Drake. All right.
All right, I like Drake. I like YFL Lucci.
YFN Lucci.
My
Get his
bad.
name right if you like him.
I like him. I mean, I like his music.
Yeah.
And what's the kid name?
How much you like him then?
No, here's the thing though. I don't always sound like one of those fake rappers. I listen to a lot of old school, and old school music. Period. Like grunge. I'm on the grunge station all the time. Like I listen to grunge.
You like J. Cole?
J. Cole, I like him, but I think he's better than I think Kendrick Lamar. I don't know if I can say this, but I think Kendrick Lamar is overrated.
Oh,
What?
Oh shit! This is
I think
oh.
he's overrated.
Oh, man,
I
yeah,
think-
it's definitely
I,
been in the
I
show.
think J. Cole. I think out of all the new rappers, J. Cole be murdering all of them. Oh, my bad. I'm tripping. Kanye West. Kanye West is one of my favorite artists, and I'm gonna tell you why. He murders everybody you ever put him on a track with. Everybody. Everybody. And Jay-Z, I was a big Jay-Z fan. I'm a big Jay-Z fan. But Kanye, when you put him on any track with any artist,
Have
he
you ever
always
heard
murders.
Touch the Sky?
Yeah, what about it? Oh,
With Lupe?
Nah, look at
Man,
that.
come on, dog.
Nah.
Anyways, this was episode number 10. 10. Shout out to my our lovely guest.
Yo, what up?
Quez, what's
Quez in the
good?
building.
Quez is in the building.
Check the link at the bottom. It's your man, co-host in Holla Rock episode 10.
It's also McLeasy. Thank you for coming by.
Please, you trying to take my job, y'all. Sign the petition.
Shout out to iLive UK. Make sure you listen to us online on Mondays from 11 to midnight. And the YouTube page is Ivy School. No, it's Ivy Talks. No underscore. Instagram @ Ivy Talks. I'm trying to fix that, y'all. We'll get it together. It was a great show.
Hey,
And
Florence,
we
it ain't
have,
nothing on here.
oh my God.